Hello, thanks for joining us. Adrian's at work today, so me and Gamera have decided that we are going to watch Godzilla King of the Monsters and get Gamera's opinion of it.
As of 2019, King of the Monsters is the latest in the Legendary Pictures Monsterverse series. To make this video, I recorded Gamera's reactions throughout the entire film, as well as the entire film from my TV set, and cut it down to hopefully a reasonable length. Gamera first perks up when we see Godzilla in this flashback from the original film, but then loses interest when it's just people. Talking, people still talking, still talking. But wait! He gets a little bit interested again when Mothra first emerges, and then angry Mothra kinda freaked him out. After a couple minutes, we readjusted so he could sit on my chest to watch the movie. He seemed to really like the sound of the helicopters and perked up a little bit every time you hear one. And then lost interest when people talked. But luckily, there's several parts of helicopters in this movie. But eventually, people start talking again and looking at screens. And he basically completely lost interest at this point, and decided to walk off and leave me alone. I decided to follow him into the kitchen, and left the film rolling on the movie, and he came in here to get a snack. He's eating the tops of jalapenos and Anaheim peppers here, which is one of his favorite snacks. During this part, he unfortunately is missing the emergence of King Ghidorah, but I don't think he's missing it too much right now. And there Godzilla roars. At that point, Gamera decided he had enough snacks and started making his way under the couch and back into the living room. Don't want to miss a moment of this Godzilla action. He emerged from under the couch. I moved to the floor and laid him back on top of me. He really liked this part. Godzilla charging up and letting out his atomic breath. And Gamera smacks his lips. I imagine he's thinking about his own atomic breath. But then we go back to people talking and looking at screens. And then we go to screens talking and looking at people. But things get interesting again when this volcano starts erupting and Rodan emerges. I love the look on Gamera's face. Then King Ghidorah. He got a little bit freaked out during this fight and backed partially inside his shell. Then when Godzilla shows up, he boldly puts his head back out again. He got a little bit freaked out here when King Ghidorah's head regenerated. Not a big fan of regrowing limbs, I guess. However, he was a big fan of this mountain moving. But then people start talking and looking at screens again, which happens a whole lot in this movie. He stops watching for a while and actually just moves up next to my face. But in this scene, when Mothra shows up, He starts paying attention again. Not quite enough to turn around yet, but definitely paying attention. He really liked this scene. Maybe he just really likes lava? I don't know. But anytime there's lava, it gets his attention. He really likes the color red. He also likes yellow a lot. Might have something to do with that. Or maybe he just has a thing for lava. It's hard to be sure. I think he finds this scene strangely relatable. Also, this scene happens in the ruins of Atlantis, which is actually not Godzilla's home historically. It's typically Gamera's home. And that's just kind of a weird thing they did with this movie. And Godzilla comes forth from the ocean. I love how serious Gamera is looking at him here. And raises his head as Godzilla lets out his atomic breath. I really think he finds this inspiring. Maybe he secretly hopes to one day be that much larger than people. He looked amused when they got splashed. And he more or less lost interest in the movie again up until the finale, when all the monsters finally start converging. Godzilla approaches. Yeah, during the entire finale of this movie, there's not a time he ever took his eyes off the TV again. Doesn't have a lot of big reactions during this scene, but also has his complete attention. Oh, now he really liked this part. Again, the atomic breath, and Gamera smacking his lips. Gamera's working on his atomic breath. And also, Gamera gets really solemn here at this end part. There's the ape mammoth. And the Cthulhu spider. And a Muto. And then Rodan joins them. Yeah, Gamera got really still during this part and really serious. He's looking so intently at it. I can only imagine that Gamera aspires to one day himself be the king of the monsters. Godzilla lets out his roar, and Gamera turns to get a good look at this hero shot. And we managed to make it all the way through till the end. I set up a test here with the 3 most recent Godzilla movies in front of him, and just waited to see which one he would go for. I thought he might choose Shin Godzilla just because it's a red case, but he seems to be approaching Godzilla 2014. Or maybe he's not. But I did hide a 4th option. The Gamera Legacy 11 film collection. He bothers to stop and look at the case. He presses his face right into it. And maybe one day, Gamera will be the true king of the monsters.